Welcome to Hot Sauce Island. I am on Avery Island in Louisiana, and I am at the home and origin of every single bottle of Tabasco hot sauce in the world. The tour itself begins in the Tabasco Museum. You can see behind me the main warehouse area where most of the process of producing Tabasco occurs, and I'm going to be getting there shortly. First, I'm going to go look at the greenhouse, get a look at the peppers from seed to bottling. This whole process is an immersive experience on Avery Island. Tabasco has been producing hot sauce for over 150 years. In fact, they've been bottling since just after the Civil War in the United States. The first part of this tour was at the Tabasco Museum, where you learn about the entire family lineage that led to the ownership of the island, the development of the Tabasco brand, the peppers that they use, the process that they use. And this is a self-guided tour, so now I'm at stop number 2, which is the greenhouse, where I'm going to get to interact with the peppers themselves. One of the reasons I absolutely love doing tours like this is that it really gives you insight into things that you otherwise wouldn't know. For instance, just now in the greenhouse, I learned that the seeds for all of the Tabasco peppers are harvested here on Avery Island in Louisiana and then sent to growers around the world. The peppers are grown then in places like Central and South America and in Africa, and once they're harvested, picked, and mashed, the mash is sent back to here on Avery Island, where it goes through a barrel aging process that lasts several years, and that is why all Tabasco sauce originates here. Stop number 3 on the self-guided tour is the Barrel Museum. And I'm pretty sure that they got these from an old church. Right now, I am outside of the barrel warehouse, and I just went through the Barrel Museum where they talked about the process of decharring the barrels, swapping out the rings, and then filling the barrels with the pepper mash. They then seal the barrels with salt, and that kind of keeps out all impurities, and then they let the barrels, the pepper mash, age inside the barrels for up to 3 years. Now, the cool thing now is you actually get to see inside the barrel warehouse. It is totally open to the humidity and weather that's out here right now. What I love is you can see that salt layer on top of the barrels. And again, that is used to keep any sort of impurities from getting into the barrel the way it was sealed. And look at that. Those barrels are stacked sometimes 6 high. And again, the pepper mash ages for 3 years in these barrels before they actually move on to the making of the sauce. So salt plays 2 really important roles in the production of Tabasco sauce, I'm learning. First is obviously in the recipe for Tabasco. There's really only a couple of ingredients: the Tabasco peppers, vinegar, and salt, and that's it. And then the process of aging and the peppers that they've selected, that's where the flavor comes from. But the second role that salt plays in the whole production process is sealing those barrels and allowing the aging process that takes up to 3 years to go on. So salt is instrumental in the production of Tabasco hot sauce. Kind of makes sense considering that Avery Island itself has a salt mine on it, and there's a lot of salt mine history here on the island, and it all kind of factors in together with the production of Tabasco hot sauce. So the Tabasco factory, the tour here on Avery Island, only about a 30-minute drive south of Lafayette. It's out of the way if you're in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, and you are going to be considering spending more time on the road to get here. But I would say if you like hot sauce, and if you are a fan of Tabasco, this is totally worth the drive. Something I just noticed is that in the landscaping of the warehouse, they actually have pepper plants in front of the doors here that actually have peppers growing on them. And so this is a kind of, I'm not sure the cage is probably meant to keep people from taking peppers, but it is pretty cool that they have the peppers here on the grounds and not just outgrowing somewhere else. I'm just getting to stop number 4 on the self-guided tour, which is the blending area of the factory. And just walking up to these doors, I can smell the smell of Tabasco sauce, which means that we're getting closer to where all these elements start to come together. Coming upstairs to view the blending process. So in all of these different vats, the pepper mash is mixed with a distilled vinegar and salt combination, and then it's mixed in that distilled vinegar and salt combination for 3 weeks. So not only is it aged for 3 years, it's now blended and mixed and stirred for 3 weeks longer in the mixing vats. After that, it's on to bottling. But first, all the casings and seeds and all of the mash need to be strained out. Stop number 5 is a small museum that's dedicated to what life was like on Avery Island for the workers, and it details a little bit about how the village around the factory started up and how it grew after that. Now we're moving on to stop number 6, which is the salt mine experience. And if you remember earlier, I talked about the fact that Avery Island is actually home to some salt mines. In fact, historically, it is the first large salt mine operation in the United States. This would be my dad's favorite part of the tour because not only does he like hot sauce, he's a mining engineer, and this part of the tour is right up his alley. Even at this point in the tour, I'm in the salt mine exhibit. I can smell Tabasco sauce, and I don't know if it's left over from where I was at the mixing area or if it's because what I'm coming up to now is the bottling line, where automated bottling produces hundreds and hundreds of bottles of Tabasco sauce every single minute. Apparently, I'm getting the impression that they don't bottle on Sundays, which I like as a company ethos, that they do give Sundays to their employees. I don't know if it's just Sundays or if it's the whole weekend, but it looks like bottling is not going on a Sunday. So if you wanted to see the automated experience, probably not a Sunday trip for you. That's really cool. I wish it was going today because I'd love to see this number going up as they produce it. Like I said, hundreds and hundreds of bottles per minute, a very advanced automated system, including bottling, labeling, photo examination. There's a really great process here that makes it so that Tabasco sauce can make it to 180 countries around the world and have a uniform taste and look. As a world traveler, I love a good map, and Tabasco has done one here that is phenomenal. This is a map of the world, and every country on this map that's in a shade of red receives bottles of Tabasco sauce. So obviously we're here in the United States, we're here in Louisiana, this is where this is all happening at. But if you zoom out, or I zoom out, pull you out, all over South America, huge regions of Africa, Europe has it, Russia, the Middle East has some. It's remarkable, just all over Asia, Indonesia. This is where I grew up, right there. Australia, all the little islands. Tabasco sauce is everywhere. This might be the part that I'm most excited about, is we've got a Tabasco sauce tasting experience here, and it looks like we get the whole line of the flavor families, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try some of these sauces. All right, this is Angela. Angela just gave me the rundown on this. So I'm starting at the mildest, which is a raspberry chipotle, which I had no idea they even made. And I'm working my way up to the spiciest, which is their scorpion sauce. And then they've got 3 barbecue sauces here that are the same. I've got some pretzels for dipping. This is gonna be an awesome experience. So I just tasted the raspberry chipotle. It was awesome. Apparently it's great on cheesecake. I'm moving up through sweet and spicy. Jalapenos next. This one I've had a ton, just restaurants, wherever. Great on eggs. That's delicious. Honestly, I think I just love the fact that I'm able to do like shots of hot sauce. So, what's next? This is a cayenne garlic. So all of these different flavors, these Tabasco flavors, are available on the website. Some of them are available in stores, and there are 4 sauces that are available only here. That is the raspberry chipotle, the roasted pepper, the family reserve, which is aged up to 8 years and then mixed with a white wine vinegar instead of a distilled vinegar, and then the hottest sauce they make, which is their scorpion sauce. So I'm gonna get to taste all of those. I have a feeling I'm taking some of it home with me. All right, I'm down to the last 2 of the hot sauces. The habanero and the Scorpion. These are their two hottest levels, and everything's been really good so far. Second hottest pepper on the Scoville scale. This is the Scorpion sauce from Tabasco, so here we go. It's pretty tasty, pretty tasty. The heat comes on afterwards.
And it'll linger.
Well, that about wraps it up for the Tabasco factory tour here on Avery Island. It's about 12:30, which is perfect for lunch, and just by happenstance, they also have their own restaurant on the grounds here. They serve Tabasco-based meals.